Hello, everyone. My name is Danny. This review is going to be for the movie called Spies in Disguise. This is a 2019 film. It is rated PG. It's directed by Troy Quane and Nick Bruno, and it stars the voice talents of Will Smith, Tom Holland, and Ben Mendelsohn. It runs an hour and 42 minutes. And the description: in this high flying animated comedy, super spy Lance Sterling and scientist Walter Beckett are almost exact opposites. Lance is smooth, suave, and debonair. Walter is none of the above. But this unlikely duo must team up for the ultimate mission to save the world when a biodynamic concealment experiment transforms Lance into a brave, fierce, majestic pigeon. This is Spies in Disguise. Well, I wanted to go see this. It was later, but it was one of my Christmas time movies. It's been looking like a lot of fun. Will Smith's been pumping out a bunch of movies lately, but this is one that I really did want to see. I was, kind of high on it. It looked like fun. When I went, I was surprised to see that there weren't many seats left. So I kind of sat higher up in between two families, and the kids seemed to have a lot of fun with it, and parents seemed to laugh at a couple things. So we'll get into the pluses and minuses here. The greatest thing about this movie, I think, was that it has the action. It has lots of color and action the whole time. There's always something going on. There's always something happening to keep your attention. There's really no drag in it. There's no sitting around talking. There's no, oh, we're just flying on the plane and we're just traveling over to this place to do this thing. It's go 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 the whole time. So in that way, I think anybody can kind of enjoy it. The colors of all Walter's experiments and inventions, all that stuff is very wonderful to feast on the eyes. It's enjoyable to just to experience all the colors and nifty things that Walter comes up with. There are a couple of characters here and there that add a lot of laughter and humor to things. They have great characterization. They have great personality. Um, I will say for one negative is I do not like Reba McEntire being put in her role. I just didn't think her voice fit that character, and I just didn't think it fit. It bugged me the whole time. I'm like, is this lady supposed to be head of this organization? Is she supposed to have this southern drawl? It just did not sound right. Reba didn't change her voice whatsoever. It just sounded way too different. But everybody else really, honestly, like fit into their character. I'm going to say something kind of profound right now, and I hope people watch this review, and I hope you take this to your thought and you mull it over. I honestly think this is Tom Holland's best role. I really do. I have not liked the Spider-Mans, and I don't know if he's done anything else, but he just hasn't fit into a movie characterization for me. And so when I heard him be the voice of Walter here, like he really fit into Walter. Like he seems like this nifty, funny, kind of striving for greatness kind of a kid, but he just has never fit into Spider-Man for me. So I honestly really liked him in this. I think it was one of his best movies because he didn't have to show that he doesn't know how to act. He didn't have to show that he doesn't know how to have facial expressions appropriate for the situation. We got to let his animated character do that for him. So I'm sorry to be a little harsh on him, but this is my platform because I really want to give him props for voicing animated character correctly, and I think he did a great job. So that's what I'm trying to say. Will Smith is really funny. I think some of his things that he says and some of his mannerisms and attitude things to say and witty smart comebacks maybe didn't need to be in this film. He's like, oh boy, you're gonna get me. Like those kind of things I don't think needed to be in here. It is geared towards children, and they don't need to learn to talk like that. Like having a witty comeback for everything that's said, getting frustrated, but keeping it inside, but still muttering. There's a lot of different things that he did that I think could be frowned upon, and I just don't know how great of him bringing his character and personality into Lance really helped the viewership because they're gonna laugh at all the funny things, with the pigeon and him flying through the air and all the things that happened to Lance Sterling, but I just don't know how his mannerisms helped anybody. Um, the other thing that I just gotta point out negative wise, because mostly I enjoyed this movie, but the thing that really hurt it and the thing that kind of made me roll my eyes is all the groin shots that all the people take in this movie, all the fart jokes and butt jokes that they make. There's a lot of them, and some of the things that happen in the movie, like with the birds, a lot of it's suggested. Like you're supposed to know what's going on, and I think adults will, but they don't say it, so the kids can't really follow it. And I just think that you've got to lay yourself out and make yourself very transparent as a movie if you want children to understand what's going on. And the only things they are transparent about is the fart, the butt, and the groin jokes. So I didn't really appreciate that through the middle part of the film. It was a lot of it. It was a lot of stuff that I wanted the kids to understand, but they weren't saying it out loud. So there's some good lessons in this. There's a lot of treating people correctly. Befriending the one person that seems to be on the outside of your group. Go make a friend with them. Don't let them be ignored. Don't try and fit into the cool group just because you seem to be cool. Be well-rounded of a person. Treat everybody right. I think that's a great lesson, and that's like this movie's main message. And I think it's a great one. And they have some other ones, about trusting and communication and stuff like that. And I always appreciate those lessons in all the different kids' movies I see. But I think they pulled this movie off very well. I think it's very genuine, neat idea. And I don't know why it's called Spies in Disguise when Will Smith's character is the only one that goes in disguise. But, it gives all the side characters a great chance to stand out. Some of them become more part of the story. There's some things that don't make sense, but, animated movies are not supposed to make sense. And I think Will Smith did fine. I, again, think Tom Holland did great. I think that the story was very fluid. It's very, they went from this thing to that thing to that thing. I didn't think they needed to have this one naked person in the movie. I think they could have dealt without that. But otherwise, I think the story and the comedy all went off pretty well. All the inventions are very creative, and the ending was very nice. So I genuinely like this movie. I just want parents and guardians to err on the side of caution. Is this the kind of movie that you want your kids to gravitate to? Because of some of the stuff in it. Mostly the good messages kind of overshadow the bad, but there are kind of questionable concerns of messages in this movie. So I will give Spies in Disguise a B minus. I did genuinely like it. I can suggest to watch it. Just err on the side of caution. A B minus for Spies in Disguise. Thanks a lot, guys. My name's Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and get some of them watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would. And enjoy your movies. Thanks.